So welcome to session 10, moving forward mindfully. What we're going to be looking at during this session is the understanding the importance of our daily practice. We're going to spend a moment reflecting on some of the practices we've done and those we found most useful. We're going to be looking at how to incorporate practices and the course and the materials and so on into our everyday life. We're going to be making a personal plan of action, and then we're going to practice offering care to others as well as ourselves. And we'll finish up by a visualization practice of a beautiful place. So welcome, let's continue with our journey in mindfulness. So as usual, let's begin by reminding ourselves of what mindfulness is. And it's paying attention on purpose, in the present moment, and in a non-judgmental way. And there are three factors of this we've been focusing on during this course: paying attention in a deliberate way, focusing on being in the present moment, and learning to be non-judgmental about our experiences as we go through life. So integrating mindfulness into our daily lives does require consistent practice. And looking ahead, we're going to be exploring ways in which we can do this, maybe ways in which we can find new inspiration, and perhaps you need a community of support of people who are also interested in these things. And our goal is to integrate mindfulness as a consistent life practice and to cultivate a mindset which is open in its awareness and is inherently non-judgmental. Now, as you've probably noticed as you've gone through the course, mindfulness is not just a coping mechanism. It's a complete shift in how we relate to ourselves, how we relate to the world, and how we experience our own thoughts and feelings. And as mindfulness is this ongoing practice, this ongoing awareness, our aim is to actually live full time in the present moment. That it's not something we simply remember to return to from time to time. So let's look at how we might achieve that through planning the exercises and so on that we're going to be doing. So, a personal mindfulness plan. You may wish to get out your journal for this. And the first step is to list the practices that you have found to be most helpful. Secondly, name the circumstances, thoughts, or emotions that mindfulness practices can help you with. Thirdly, consider what sort of motivation you will need to continue a daily mindfulness practice. And fourthly, what accountability practices will help you every day. So this course has been a starting point for understanding and cultivating and practicing mindfulness. But there is an ongoing journey of your life, and that does require consistent effort and planning and so on. What I suggest you do is you may want to pause the video here and think about your personal plan, what it would look like. Now, of course, you don't have to completely finish the thing here. This may be a process which you can spend the next few days on, cultivating a plan which not only is effective, but you will find that actually does work for you. So you may want to pause the video here or come back to this later. We're going to be moving on to our first guided practice of this session. where we're going to be looking at the importance of daily practice. So, the purpose of this guided practice is to allow us to remember the benefits of mindfulness and acknowledge all the hard work you've done so far and the effort you've already made, and how to take that into the future. So, when you're ready, sit upright in your chair with your hips 2 to 3 inches above the level of your knees. You've got your feet flat on the floor. You may rest your hands on your lap, but don't interlace your fingers. Close your eyes if you wish to, otherwise just have a soft downward gaze. And without changing it, become aware of your breath as it rolls in and rolls out again. Now let's begin this practice with a grounding. It's very easy to do and something you can remember to do if you need to going forwards at pretty much any time. Take a deep inhale and ground your body into the chair. Feel those feet grounded firmly on the floor. Be aware of your spine. Be aware of its balance. Be aware of your posture and how centered you can be in this position. And let's acknowledge for a moment that boredom and fatigue can set in when we're doing any kind of daily practice. And recall moments of mind when your mind wandered, when you just couldn't be bothered, but nevertheless you carried on. And take a moment to locate boredom and fatigue in the body through a quick body scan. Just be aware of it, not trying to change it at all. And hold an open awareness of any boredom or fatigue that you find. And feel your mind's resilience and capacity to be in the present moment. And just acknowledge that you will probably have occasional difficulties like agitation or annoyance or resistance to doing mindfulness. Let's use our body awareness. We've learned to use our body during this course as a way of locating and understanding ourselves more fully. So pay attention to where you have any sensations of agitation to doing a daily practice. Or if there's a sense of annoyance anywhere, just quickly scan your body and locate it. And if you've located any, then breathe into these spaces to lighten the sensations. And visualize impatience and frustration, acknowledging them outside of yourself. Now let's practice releasing these thoughts and feelings that we don't find very helpful. Visualize them as a leaf on the wind, or an orb on a stream, or the seed of a dandelion floating away in the breeze. and recognizing that passing mind states come and go. And because of its present time nature, each mindfulness practice offers us a new learning experience. And you can imagine future opportunities for mindfulness in your life. Recognize every day as a precious gift that has mindfulness opportunities for you. Notice how this day began, and the opportunities within it for mindfulness practice and so on. And bring attention to the present moment in the practice you are currently doing. Now let go of any thoughts or feelings or sensations you may be aware of. Let go of any concepts you may have of daily practice or of mindfulness. Taking a deep breath and just sitting centered. And this brings to an end this practice, so become aware of your feet on the floor and the chair you're sitting in. Just wiggle your fingers and take 2 or 3 deep breaths. If your eyes are closed, it's a good time to open them and become aware of the environment you're in. So you may want to pause for a moment and journal on any ideas or thoughts you had during that practice, on what you're going to do with daily practice and how you might take it forwards. And toward that end, we're going to be moving on and looking at a mindfulness plan of action. So, here are some thoughts on a plan of action you can create for yourself. It's important that you actually fit mindfulness practices to you and your life, your schedule, who you are. There actually isn't a single right way to practice and cultivate mindfulness, but there is a way that works for you. Have some fun, just experiment a little bit. Try different methods and tools and find the best fit for your current needs. And be aware that as you go through life, your needs may change, and so the practices you do may evolve and change over time. And toward that end, be aware of the evolution of a practice. Kind of like learning to do art or play sport or something like that. What you found difficult in the beginning, after a few months of practice, becomes effortless and easy, which allows you the opportunity to explore different meditations, different postures, maybe adding music, maybe using objects to help focus your attention. And be aware that evolving practices is just normal, that there's nothing wrong with you, that you don't have to keep repeating exercises that are no longer relevant to you. But having said that, have some concrete steps. Follow specific steps during periods where you're stressed out or feeling anxious. And use reminders to stop, to practice some self-care, or to ask for help. So you may want to pause the video and think about this a little bit, maybe make some journal notes. as we move on to our next guided practice. So this guided practice is all about receiving care for self and others. The focus is to cultivate care and loving kindness using our breath, and it combines both mindfulness and compassion. So when you're ready, sit upright in the chair with your hips 2 to 3 inches above the level of your knees. Your feet are flat on the floor. You can rest your hands in your lap, but don't interlock your fingers. Close your eyes if you wish to, otherwise just have a soft downward gaze. And without changing it, become aware of your breath as it rolls in and rolls out again. And observe the present experience of life that you have right now, but without doing anything about it. And simply bring your awareness to any locations in your body where you can actually feel your breath coming in, pausing for a while, going out again, pausing for a moment before coming in again. Where are you feeling that? In your nostrils, in your chest, in your abdomen? Really feel those inhalations and exhalations. And set an intention of self-acceptance. And inhale acceptance and exhale self-judgment. And do this for a few cycles of your breath, inhaling acceptance and exhaling any form of self-judgment. And I'll be quiet for a moment while you do that. And now, on the inhale, inhale acceptance. And on the exhale, exhale self-judgment. So let's change the emphasis slightly. And on the inhale now, you're going to inhale ease and peace. And you're going to exhale stress and anxiety. So inhale ease and peace. And exhale any stress or anxiety that you're feeling at the moment. And I'll be quiet for a few seconds while you play with that. Now visualize breathing in light of ease and visualize exhaling darkness of stress. Visualize breathing in the lightness of ease. Exhale the darkness of stress. Visualize breathing in light of ease and exhaling darkness of stress. Now spend a few breaths inhaling forgiveness of yourself. And on the exhale, exhale any resentment that you're holding. Inhale forgiveness of yourself. And exhale any resentment that you're holding. And picture beloved people around you, supporting you, loving you. Now let's move our care to other people. And this time on the inhale, inhale the pain of others' self-judgment. And exhale acceptance to loved ones. Inhale the pain of others' self-judgment. And exhale acceptance to loved ones. Now on the inhale, inhale stress and anxiety of others. And exhale ease and peace. Inhale stress and anxiety of others. And exhale ease and peace. And hold space for others' stress without taking it on yourself. And now we move into the final stages of this, where we inhale resentment others have towards themselves, and exhale forgiveness for them. So we inhale resentments others have toward themselves, and exhale forgiveness for them. And spend a few moments breathing into forgiveness, compassion, ease, peace, acceptance and love. Spend a few moments where you breathe into forgiveness, compassion, ease, peace, acceptance and love. And with that, we let go of our awareness of our breathing, simply resting in the inherent peace of our being, resting in the inherent compassion, peace and love, at the heart of our nature. And letting go of all efforts now as we come to the end of this session, becoming aware of your feet on the floor, aware of the chair that you're sitting in. Just wiggle your fingers and take 2 or 3 deep breaths. And if your eyes are closed, open them now and become aware of the environment you're in. You may want to pause for a moment before continuing, but when you're ready, move on to our next guided practice. So welcome to the final guided practice of this session, our peaceful and beautiful place. And what we're going to be doing is using our imagination to help us to relax and to find a quiet, relaxed space that we can go to rejuvenate, to de-stress, and to center ourselves as we go forward in our lives. So sitting upright in your chair, hips 2 to 3 inches above the level of your knees. Your feet are flat on the floor. Rest your hands on your lap, but don't interlock your fingers. You can close your eyes if you wish to. Otherwise, just have a soft downward gaze toward the floor. And without changing it, become aware of your breath as it rolls in and rolls out again. And just feel your body in the moment. Feel it breathing. Allow your body to relax more and more with each breath that you take. Simply letting go of any stress or tension you may be feeling. Relax any tension in your brow, in your face, in your eyes. Now bring to mind a favorite or imagined peaceful place. This place can be inside or outside. It can be small or vast and open. It can be dark or light, cool or warm. It really doesn't matter. All that matters is that it works for you. And feel free to include any elements that you need to. Maybe there are other people. Maybe it's in nature. Maybe you're in the sunshine, or perhaps you're somewhere near water. And just visualize the body in this peaceful space. Feel your feet resting on the ground and wiggle your toes. Take a few deep breaths and notice the air. Notice any smells. And if there are any fragrances in the air, then allow any feelings that need to be expressed to come to the surface. So feel any sensations of the air or the objects around you. See any colors, textures, expressions, any light or objects. Are you hearing anything? Make this place as vivid and real in your mind as you can. And embrace this peaceful place entirely in your being. You can use this place for consolation, for quiet, for a sense of freedom or harmony, for a few moments of solitude, for warmth, for comfort, for rest. And what you can do is ask for what is needed and find it there. And I'll be quiet for a few seconds, allowing you to experience this place, allowing yourself to be immersed in this place fully and completely. And remember that this place is easy for you to return to any time you want to. And give yourself permission to take the path to this place whenever you need to. And now, as we draw this practice to a close, begin to leave this place behind. Become aware of your feet on the floor, of the chair that you're sitting in. Wiggle your fingers and take 2 or 3 deep breaths. If your eyes are closed, open them now and become aware of the environment that you're in. So, closing notes. There is a student workbook to accompany this session. Many congratulations if you've made it this far. It's not easy to go through courses like this on your own, and unfortunately not everyone makes it to the end. So if you have, very well done to you. Tremendous effort. Keep it up and keep practicing in the future. And just a final reminder that if you have any questions or feedback, just go to the website, click on the contact form, and I'll get back to you in a few days as possible. So let's finish as we traditionally do and wish all sentient beings, including ourselves, well. And wishing you well for the future. I trust you've enjoyed this course and found it beneficial, and I look forward to working with you again in the future.